Preparing to stream.
We are live.
We are live. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of 10K on the Bay, my journey to 10,000 live listings. I am not 10K on the Bay. I am not Chris, but I will be filling in for him tonight.
Imposter.
I'm an imposter. I'm filling in for him while he goes thrifting in London with his lady friend. So tonight on another episode of Reseller Fam, we are going to talk about selling, cross-posting on Poshmark. And if we have more time, we might touch on Mercari as well. How many people that are on tonight sell on Poshmark as well as eBay? Is there anybody that does not? Look at us. Amazing. Okay, so I have jotted down some questions that I know a lot of people have about Poshmark. I had them when I first started. Gwen, do you want to start with best sharing practices?
Okay, so sharing practices.
Yeah.
What I usually do is when you're first starting out, you need to share like quite a bunch of other people's stuff. And then you also need to share your own closet. I was sharing 3 times a day, but I have almost 1,000 listings. So that gets very time consuming. So now I've kind of dropped it back to just sharing certain categories. And I will do during a party, instead of doing back to back, like nonstop my entire closet, I just do like one category. So I'll do tops, and then I'll take like a 5 to 10 minute break. And then I'll do like pants and then take a 5 to 10 minute break. And that kind of helps break it up so that I'm not getting that message that says like, are you a robot? Like, are you sharing too much?
If you're doing it on the computer.
Yeah, if you're doing it on the computer, because you're just sharing a ton. And some people had that theory that like you were being throttled or whatever. I don't believe it. I just think that as long as, you're doing it, you might as well space it out so that it's not all at once. But
can you define throttle? Can you tell us all what throttle means for those that don't know?
Okay, so there was like this rumor going around that people that were sharing too much were getting kind of like blacklisted on there, and Poshmark was throttling them, which to me sounds really strange, but it's a poor choice of words. It was just like they were like pretty much hiding their listings. Like people say, that your
like
listings get hidden on eBay and stuff, and they're just kind of saying that it was similar to that. Like the algorithm was purposefully blocking you because it thought you were a bot. And I don't necessarily believe that, because I was sharing 3 times a day, and I know Jordan shares a lot, and we've never had that issue. It's not like, I was getting less sales or anything. So I think it's really more just being selective and purposeful in what you're sharing. And when you're sharing other people's stuff, like make sure it's something you care about, not just garbage that you're trying to share just
because it still shows
shares
up on your account.
Yeah.
Your shares.
Yeah.
So share stuff that, you actually like and that is worth sharing. Share to all the parties every day what's applicable. And then like when I share my whole closet, not everything can go in the party. So as I'm sharing, I'm like choosing, okay, that's a party one. And then if you share just to the regular followers, for something that doesn't need to go to the party, like don't put everything in the party.
Yeah.
But
because if it's like athletic wear, you're not going to put stilettos.
Yeah.
You also don't want to mess up your closet order.
Yeah. And I have mine organized very specific. So I like to keep it that way. And I just change what goes like in what order the categories are, but I have it all by categories. I've done it by color. I haven't noticed the difference between sorting it by color, sorting it by item, sorting it by new item. Like it really doesn't matter. It's just have it look nice and clean and easy for people to find stuff.
Do you think there's something to be said about changing the order of your closet?
I do change it up every once in a while. I noticed that I kept sharing the same order. I would start and go like tops and then swim but then I would jump to accessories, and I had this like method of doing it. And then I started doing it differently and actually started getting more people sharing my stuff and sales. So I don't know if they were just tired of seeing the same items.
She sorts her closet by category and I don't. So it's like, you know, it kind of just whatever works for you. It can work any way you organize it, any way you share it, just what works best for you.
That's good.
Yeah,
to
I
know.
don't think it matters which way you do
Have
it.
it in
Yeah.
any category. That's good to know.
Some people do it by
some
yeah,
people do
I've
it by
seen that.
I do it by kind of outfit. So I have like a jacket, a top, shoes, and jean, and kind of just have it mixed. But I have tried it where it's organized, like all shirts, all skirts, and I think it looks pretty. It's just not something that I'm too lazy, but it does work. It works any way you want it to.
No, I hear you. I'm that way sometimes, or I'll share some stuff to a sale and not go back and fix my closet.
Yeah.
But I think something that people may not realize, especially if you're new to Poshmark, when you share to a party, it also shares to your followers.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need to share it twice.
Yeah.
Which I used to do until Glenn corrected me.
Yeah, I was like logged in and I had like 500 notifications and I'm like, Joel, why are you sharing my closet twice? Like, why?
I got the bot when I did that too.
Yeah.
You're
So
a
you
bot.
just need to share it just once to the party, and it will also share to your followers. And then the ones that you don't share to the party, just share to your followers. And you know, share as much as you can. Share other people's. I think sometimes that sharing other people's stuff helps more than just sharing your own. So like I'll share her closet and notice that I'll get more followers after that than if I just shared my own closet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm starting to slowly figure that out too. For those of us just joining us, surprise, I'm not Chris, but sorry, Elsa. Stay cool. I am sitting in for Chris as he is in London with his lady friend, and we are talking with the Reseller fam tonight about cross-posting and selling on Poshmark. Someone wants to know how long it took you to get your first sale on Poshmark. Sam, do you want to go first? How long did it take you to get your first sale?
Yeah, so I haven't had a sale on Poshmark yet. I literally just started cross-posting on Poshmark. So
awesome.
I don't have anything to share. I'm really trying to get all your secrets.
What is your... No, that's we're glad to have you.
What'd you say?
I said we're glad.
Didn't hear you.
All right. I said, is that scary?
There you go. It's working now.
Oh Lord. I said we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
No, you're disconnected.
Is that better?
Yeah, better.
Okay. Okay, well, we're glad to have you, Sam. And you would be good to ask, do you have any questions since you've been starting your Poshmark journey?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, at first it was a little bit intimidating because it's really different from eBay, especially in the sense of how you attract more followers and things of that nature. The main thing for me was just understanding, what it meant for people to add to a bundle, because I got a notification where someone added something to a bundle and then a day later it said make an offer. So I was a little confused about that.
Well, when they make a bundle, like sometimes people will make a bundle of just one item and they kind of want to feel out like what your lowest price is. And I have a bundle discount and it kind of varies. It's usually 20% and it fluctuates from like, whether it's going to be 20% off 2 items or more or 3, depending on how I'm feeling that day and how much inventory I want to clear out. But usually I do 20% off 2 or more just to move stuff because I price it high on there. So if they make a bundle of 1 item, then what I do is I wait, like I try not to be too anxious and send it like 5 minutes later, like here, buy my shit. But if I wait like about 45 minutes to an hour, if they haven't bundled anything else and they don't look like they're moving forward with the sale, then I send them a private offer. And I send everyone that puts something in a bundle an offer. And a lot of times it results in a like where they just decline it. But a lot of times it's resulted in a sale. So I'd say like probably 30% of the time I've had a sale come out of it, or they've declined it. And they'll say, oh, I actually want to add a few more things to it. I'm just still looking. And so at least it opens up like the dialogue with the buy, like forcefully tagging them. Also, if I notice someone has liked a bunch of items, then I will send them. I have a picture in my closet that says like add your likes to a bundle and I'll send you a private offer. I'll send them that picture, direct share it to their closet. So I do that sometimes when I notice that they've, liked maybe 5 tops or something and they're like not bundling, but they're liking a lot of stuff. Then I'm trying to get them to make that next step. Like, let's add it to a bundle. Like, let's see what, what I can do for you. So I'll send them that. But usually I send everybody an offer because the worst they can do is decline it and you're back at square one. So 30% of the time it's resulted in a sale. So it's good to just, try it.
Megan or Dave, how long did it take you to get your first sale?
It took just under a week. But I really, when I opened up our closet, I really started just like working super hard on it and adding a bunch of listings all at once and sharing quite a bit. Our closet is like a niche closet, so it's called Little Black Closet, and all we have are black items, so black clothes, black accessories. So out of our like eBay stock, it's a little bit harder to get inventory. Like I have to source specifically for it because we don't always get black items. So I had to kind of like space it out of when to put the inventory in. And I feel like that helped me with, because it was like listing consistently of stock we already had, but yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it took a couple weeks before I got a sale, but then they started slowly coming in after that. Ken, how long did it take you to get your first sale?
Honestly, I don't know. I didn't count it. I was just
Oh, sorry, Ken. I think it's your audio. Nope.
No?
Nope.
Hold on. What about now?
There, that's better.
Cool. So
scary.
no, when I started, I wasn't really focused on how long it will take me. I know it will take time, but I'd say I would just assume it was like not until 2 or 3 weeks. What I was more focused on, though, I agree with Megan. I made my Poshmark closet to be like my closet or more of like a niche closet. So I was more focused on putting lifestyle shoes, workout clothes, basketball shoes. So I pretty much try to make it like a sneaker or lifestyle boutique closet. And honestly, we haven't done really good. We haven't been really sharing a lot. We just do it occasionally, but sales are coming in. So I even say that when your product is good, somebody's gonna look for it.
Yeah, that's true. And that's good to hear too, that you don't share as often and you still get sales. I always wonder before I started selling on Poshmark.
Yeah, I think yesterday we did $250 yesterday. I mean, that was just zero shares.
Oh, that's awesome.
We just put out we just put out a good quality listing and a shoe and good discounts. It was a shoe that was for 160 and we posted it for 120, and then we took a best offer of 100 and my buy cost was 20.
Nice.
So it was fairly easy. And I mean, we are really thinking about cross posting more, but make it more like a niche specific closet that when somebody's looking for running shoes, when they're in that store, they could just browse my closet. I don't know how that works, but I'm just feeling that if it's more of a specific closet, people are gonna, discover it more and they're gonna look through it. Because I'm just thinking about impressions when somebody walks into your closet. What are the things that they can see? And if it's relevant to what they're looking for, it's really more likely that they will buy more items, or they will come back, or they will follow your store.
Yeah, especially if they are looking for running shoes or whatever, they have a lot of options to choose from instead of just scrolling through to find one or two pair.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with you, Ken, with the having the niche closet where someone will go specifically to your closet to look for specific items. Like we used to have an older closet which was called the Destroy Family, and we gave up on it because we weren't getting that many sales. Like I was still putting the shares in and everything. But this closet, we have sold more bundles because people bundle all the black items. We have gotten way more followers in the shorter period of time that we had. We're almost at 9,000 followers, and I've only had the closet open for like 2 months. So
so how long did it take you to reach Posh Ambassador?
Less than a month.
Less than a month. And how often do you want to talk a little bit about that, like what it takes to make Posh Ambassador and how long it took you and the benefits of it?
Yeah, so I pushed really hard to become that. I made sure every single criteria was done. I even purchased an item to create a love note. I did all the community shares, the welcome new closets. And Gwen, you were mentioning before how to only share things that you like. The only time that I don't do that is when I'm sharing fresh closets. So I'm just trying to share new people, even if they're, unless it's non-compliant, I don't share it. But so with the Posh Ambassador, I made sure that every other criteria was hit, except for the last thing that had needed to be hit was the amount of sales. And we were able to hit 15. So you have to hit 15 sales minimum. And we were able to hit that in less than a month, which was really nice. But yeah, it's really, you just have to keep track of your stats, and the app tells you daily. It doesn't tell you, you have to go check, but it keeps a running tally of everything for you so that you can basically achieve success on the app.
Yeah. For those of you wondering what it takes to make Posh Ambassador, you have to share other people's closets, share things in other people's closets, at least 5,000 shares, 5,000 self shares. You have to share, like what Megan was saying, when a new posher comes on, they come on as a new seller, and they encourage established sellers to share their stuff, and it gets counted as well. You have to do that a minimum of 50 shares for new poshers. You have to have at least 50 available listings, have made at least 15 sales. So, I mean, it's really not that hard. I feel like, to reach Posh Ambassador. You have to have at least a 4.5 star rating and a less than a 3-day shipping time, and give at least one love note, which a love note is when you receive an item and you rate it. So you can give it a 5-star, you give it a star rating, then it's optional to leave a comment or not. So that's what they mean by that. Noelle, how often do you share?
Oh God, that's a bad question because I don't remember to. I'm a struggling posher.
Well, maybe it's better than, do you have to, I know you're just kind of getting started on Poshmark and cross posting. What are some of your questions that maybe someone could answer?
I don't know. We were trying to fix the lighting in the beginning. I don't know if Gwen already addressed this when she was talking about sharing, but what is the edit to share? Did we already talk about that?
Gwen, no, we did not. Do you want to explain that again? I mean, not again. She explained it to me the other day is what I meant.
So if you're just sharing your items, you're sharing them and they're recently shared, but they're not updating a listing. So when you do edit next share, it's like you're doing, from your phone. It's like you're doing a fresh new listing, kind of like when you do sell similar on eBay. So it's not just, sharing that item and it hasn't been seen and updated in 5 days, 10 days, 2 months. So it kind of bumps it because there is a category that just says like newly listed. So your item will pop up in the newly listed section if you do edit next share. If you don't, if you just do sharing, then your item stays kind of stale. So I don't do it all the time. I do it maybe once a week that I go through and do it because I hate doing it from my phone.
That's why I primarily share, because I primarily use my phone for my business, and it's pretty easy, but
Yeah,
it is more tedious than on the computer.
Yeah, so she does that, but when you have 1,000 listings, it's kind of like, oh my gosh. And then if you mess up and hit the wrong thing, it's like you have to start all over. And I don't like doing it on my phone. So I do it once a week just to refresh them so that they're not super stale. But, even sharing it will show like shared last like 20 minutes ago or something, but it actually physically updates the listing if you do edit next share. Or list.
I think it's just as effective to share from your computer without doing edit share the rest of the times.
I don't know. I've made almost $20,000 on Poshmark, so I don't.
We're gonna go with yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say yes because I don't do it very frequently, and it may be once a week if I feel like it and I have time. But
the bottom line is, as long as you're sharing,
do something on it.
Yeah, no matter what you're doing, as long as you're sharing actively, you're gonna make sales.
Be active, kind of like the eBay Cassini search engine. Like you need to be active and show that you're on there and doing stuff. Here's a question I had when I first started was, and I still kind of have it. How many of you also share to Pinterest, Twitter, and Facebook when you share?
I share to Pinterest.
You share Pinterest? I
don't have anything else. I will say, like, I haven't noticed a difference from when I share to Pinterest to when I don't, because like you can choose to have it on or off.
Yeah.
But, I have noticed though, when I'm on Pinterest, I'll see Poshmark items. Like if I'm like, a lot of the times I'll look for, like if I have free people, I look for the stock photos on Poshmark to get the name.
Yeah.
And I'll see Poshmark listings for free people on Pinterest, and you can click it and buy it from there. And there are a lot of people on Pinterest every night, every day. So if your listing does show up and they want to buy it, that is another way to advertise your closet.
Yeah, I've only seen 2 people that have commented and said like, oh, I saw your listing on Pinterest, and they made an account just to buy my item. I've also had them do it from Google search because there is a place on there to turn on to make your items discoverable so that they do show up in Google search. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have that on, people that are Googling for your specific item, they're not seeing your Poshmark item.
That's in your Poshmark settings?
Yeah, it's in your settings, and you want to be discoverable so that they can find you anywhere, because I've had a lot of people find me on Google and then they offer, on Poshmark. I've also had people come from eBay or from Poshmark go to eBay and try to do it. Like they'll think I'll take less on eBay because their fees are less.
Yeah.
You can tell it's the same person because they have a very similar screen name and they're from the same place. It actually happened today. This lady wants these off lowballing me on Poshmark. Now went to eBay and lowballed me over there, and I'm like, dude, same person. You're not getting them. So not happening.
Destroys. Do you guys share to Pinterest or Twitter or Facebook?
We do not. No, we probably should, just because if we're sharing already, we might as well share at other places. But it's not something that we've put into our routine yet.
Yeah. Noelle and Sam, are you guys going to share to Pinterest and Twitter? Do you think? Do you have Twitter accounts?
I just got a Twitter account, so I can I can check that box.
Nobody wants to know what's her Twitter account.
No, it's horrible. I still don't. I feel bad. I still don't know really how to use Twitter. But yes, I finally have one.
I have a thought for Poshmark that I've been thinking. Are there any datas in Poshmark available?
I don't know.
Like so you can search for solds, correct?
That was one of my questions.
Yes, because I've looked it up. Because
so how do you do that?
You just filter it solds.
Oh.
It's just like eBay. But my thought was, I'm looking at Poshmark as a new marketplace, right? A young marketplace, and this is from my perspective alone. And I have seen there's not a lot of men's closet; it's more of women's, right? And then I'm looking at it as an opportunity. Well, what I'm doing before I'm cross-posting anything, I'm actually trying to search for an item that I'm trying to cross-post and look if somebody else is selling it. If nobody else is selling it, I am automatically that will be our first criteria that I will cross post, because one, it's you own the market, monopoly. Somebody's looking for Nike Air Max size 10 in Poshmark and nobody has it. That means I have it. So that is one of the tips, or I think you guys correct me if it's a good tactic or if it's a good strategy, because I'm still testing it. That it could be something that other people could use too. Because for example, I had this Nike Aeroloft jacket. They retail for $250. I got it for like 25. I was selling it for 180 on eBay, and just haven't been moving. Got a lot of watchers, lowball, and everything like that. Move it to Poshmark. I sold it on Poshmark for 150 because I just tested the market because nobody else had it.
Oh, you're kidding.
Now I'm looking at it as, wow. On eBay, I have a lot of competition on this Nike vest, which is very expensive. So what if I transfer a bunch of those high-end items, like I said, to be more niche specific, running equipment. If I transfer that to Poshmark, and now I own the market there because nobody else is selling heavily on certain items like that. So what do you guys think, people that have been selling on Poshmark? Do you guys consider that?
I think that's a good idea, because like you said, you are owning the market, especially for that size. And a lot of people, it is good, like if Poshmark's not your primary market, it's good to cross list those things, because there's people that have credits on Poshmark and would rather buy on Poshmark instead of eBay, or vice versa, or even on Mercari. And like you said, there aren't a lot of men's stuff. So the men that are on Poshmark, you're more likely to get a sold listing because there's less men's listings on Poshmark.
Yeah.
All right, who's going to the next Posh Fest? I'm going.
I want to go.
Let's all go. Reseller fan road trip.
I've noticed that the men's stuff, you do kind of have to have a niche, because the men that are on there are looking for specific things. Because I have a men's closet and it has probably about 150 listings active, and I don't sell very much on there. Now, I'm not as active on there as I should be, because it's a whole separate another place that I have to cross post, and I already have 2 eBay accounts and 2 Poshmarks and Mercari, and it's getting a little overwhelming. So I kind of like let it go. But I've noticed that what I do put on there, like if I put specific shoes on there, like new inbox stuff, like certain active wear for men, that stuff goes a lot quicker than like my Banana Republic men's dress shirt. Like no one cares about that on Poshmark. They're there for higher end stuff.
I've had golf shorts and like J. Crew khaki shorts for months, but as soon as I put basketball shorts or basketball shoes, they go quickly. And I don't source men's stuff. I really just post things that my boyfriend doesn't wear anymore. But those like specific items that guys are looking for sell a lot quicker than my basic men's items. So if you primarily sell like Nike shoes, then yeah, the market's going to be there on Poshmark, at least in my opinion, I think.
Yeah, I was looking at all the men's stuff that I've sold, and it's a lot of Converse and golf, like an Under Armour golf vest, a Nike golf sweatshirt, one Banana Republic sweater, but it was the merino wool. How do you say it?
Merino. 20-minute lesson on those.
I know, I always say everything wrong. Yeah.
I mean, what men's stuff sells and doesn't sell. I mean, I use Poshmark to buy things for myself and my boyfriend too. And the things that we're looking for him are the things that are selling for me too. But like athletic stuff, I just bought this puffer jacket, but I'm not really looking there for the basic like black t-shirt or, V-neck.
Right. Just to like shop to shop.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm looking for those like 40-year items. But I mean, anything will sell over time if you think about it.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a closet and a boutique?
So don't get her started on this. No. Closet is your like items that you just sourced on your own or you got from your closet. And then boutique.
Boutique is, you have to first of all, you have to apply on Poshmark to be have a boutique, but it's mostly things that are wholesale, new, like boutique items that, in my opinion, a lot of the clothes are from China. That you buy like a lot of those like really cute flowy tank tops, but there's no brand to them. Sometimes there is. But it's where you have various sizes of the same exact thing, and you can apply, like if you have Nike selling you the same shoe in like 14 different sizes, you can apply for your boutique, and then I think you have to have permission from your source,
your
where
wholesaler.
you're getting, so if you have permission from your Nike wholesaler to sell them, you can have a boutique to where you have one listing and then the buyer can select the size, but the items have to be like, you can't just buy like 14 Free People things from the Free People store and sell them. You have to have permission from
okay. So it's a store. I mean, you gotta be a distributor or official distributor.
Yeah. So if you have like a wholesale account with a particular brand, you can do that. You can say it's boutique item because you have a letter,
Okay. So what's the difference? Basically just that. Is there any, like, do they get a better ranking or a better nothing?
There's a party
choice.
They have a party they can share to where you can share your items that's only boutique. But it's just like where people would go, I think, to find new with tag. Like sometimes you'll see on the app and it'll say like, we have tons of new with tag items, and you click on it and it's going to take you to boutique listings. So, but a lot of people that are searching for that.
Yeah, they just want those like trendy, cute pieces that might not have
on Pinterest. I've noticed a lot of the boutique clothes look like they came from a Pinterest ad, and they don't have brands, like you were saying.
Yeah, and the quality isn't.
It's not there.
It's not as good.
I mean,
because I would assume that, right? Nobody gets a distributorship paperwork that easy, right? So.
Right.
I would assume, right? Even Nike.
Alibaba.
I already know I can sell Nike on a boutique because Nike wouldn't accredit me as a distributor.
Right.
So yeah, that's probably why their distributorship license is from an off-brand or like a brand that's not famous.
Yeah.
I would give
a lot of
license.
In the portal, like if you go to the wholesale portal, the app, you can buy the stuff that's okay to sell without having a license for it or without having that letter. Because as soon as you're approved, you can buy it from them. So they have like jewelry, sunglasses,
I see that. That's the wholesale. Yeah, I saw the wholesale. Wholesale here.
You can buy it, but it's not necessarily stuff that you sell.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever done that?
I'm approved to, like, I did the certification, which is easy. It asks you like 10 questions and you're done. But I've gone in there and looked. The prices are really high. They're way more than I would pay thrifted, even arbitrage. Like you're paying less, and their prices
suggested retail like $45 for a polyester shirt that is Forever 21 quality. In my opinion.
So
just in my opinion. But
so it's not something I would spend that much money on because the price per piece is like $10 to $12, and the quality is just not there to get $10 to $12 out of it. Like I would honestly
find better things at the bins, at thrift stores, retail arbitrage.
But for some people that don't like thrifting and want to run like a small business, there are some people super successful on Poshmark.
Yeah, I have one girl that like she consistently shares me and I share her, and her entire closet is all boutique items. And that's her choice, but she's selling the things at like $35, $45 a piece. But if you look a little closer at the photos, it's not stuff I would wear, but they are the trendy pieces that you're going to see in the malls. You're going to see online on Pinterest, everything like that. But it's just up to you if that's your choice of inventory or not. It's not mine, but some people will, but mine's for personal.
And then in the chat, I think Laura had a question about what I said about making sure your shares are worthy. What I mean by that is just don't share garbage just to share it.
Yeah, like, for example, even like prohibited items.
Yeah,
like perfume is not allowed, lotion's not allowed on Poshmark. Don't share it.
Yeah, like because everything you've ever shared is on your profile under your shares.
Yeah.
So you kind of want to, you know, people are talking about curating their closet and giving this like niche market. Then you want to share stuff that's in your niche market so that those people that are seeing it are then pulling you back and looking at what, you know, you're sharing, and they're looking at what items you have, and you know, you want to share
Kind of
stuff
what you're
that's similar
interested in.
to what you're interested in. You don't just want to share like, oh, okay, here's this like, you know, 1980s like ugly polyester blouse, like I'm gonna share. Sorry. Just big on the 80s. So, you know, you're just like sharing just anything that's on your feed,
or something that's like a really dark blurry photo.
Yeah,
you know, you're not
or
gonna...
it's $5, you know, like that. Yeah, you want to share like the stuff that's similar to what you're expecting to get from your closet. And the Deal Queen talked a lot about that a couple weeks ago. She talked about making sure that, you know, what you're sharing looks like what you're selling, and that you keep it like all similar so that you do have that.
Because in a way, you're putting your name on it, because it's under your shares.
So, you know, share stuff that are
clean.
That's important to you. Like. Don't just share anything. Like even when I do new postures, I look for the closets for new postures that have something that I want to share. I don't share ugly, you know, just garbage photos that somebody has just to get my shares up, because I don't care about it that much. I'd rather have like nice stuff because it matters when they look at it. So it's just important. I think it's important to do. You can do whatever you want. Everybody's free to do what they want, but that's my opinion. Is I agree with people that say that, you know, if you can see it on your profile, you probably want it to reflect your closet and what your brand is.
Someone was asking in the chat. I'm so far behind on the chat. I don't know if anybody answered it, but Poshmark, on Poshmark, you can sell clothing and shoes and accessories. Like Jordan was saying, there are some prohibited items at like lotion, perfume, hard goods. There aren't a lot.
It's mostly items. Like you can't sell housewares, and then the reason perfume and lotions aren't allowed is because it's not allowed by USPS
through priority.
Right.
So things like that, and obviously you can't sell weapons or any like health products, no vitamins, no face lotion. Even you can sell makeup, but there are restrictions, and you can on the Poshmark app on frequently asked questions.
Yeah, and no nail polish.
No nail polish. I when I first started Poshmark, I had a ton of nail polish, like 500 bottles of my personal collection, and I got everything taken down, a bunch of emails, and I'm like, why not? And I learned the hard way.
And there's no hair curling tools or blow dryers or flat irons. Like none of that can
put that stuff on Mercari.
Yeah, all of that can go to Mercari. You can throw garbage up on Mercari left and right. They don't care what you sell.
Yeah, but Poshmark is definitely more fashion based. If you can wear it, most likely you can list it.
Sam or Noelle, do you guys have any other questions? Since you guys are kind of just starting on Poshmark?
Yeah, sure. So as far as detail is concerned, so, you know, on eBay, you can list up to 12 pictures, and I think you can buy more, but there's also a pretty detailed listing as far as description's concerned. But I noticed when I was listing something on Poshmark the other day, you're limited to the number of characters. What do you do when you have an item that really needs to be specific in photos and stuff like that, and you don't have enough to, I guess, to cover everything?
You're talking about in the title or the description, or both? In
the description and in the photos. So I think you're limited to the photos you can put in there too.
Yes, you have 8 photos to choose from, and I have that issue too, especially if I have like a flawed item and I want to show like shoes, for example. I don't have enough photos. I downloaded this app called Pic Collage, and basically you can put like 4 photos into one, and you can zoom on Poshmark. So I'm not going to put like small, like the tag or anything, but an overlay of the whole item I'll put into 4 pictures, because like there's one that I had a jacket, and I tried on the jacket myself, and there wasn't enough photos, so I just made it into a 4 column photo, and if I needed to see that closer, I can zoom in to the item still. Okay. And if somebody asks for additional photos, I have seen some people create an additional listing, and just put in the title like additional photos, and then in the description, please see original post. That is harder, so I just create a collage, and there's multiple free apps that you can download to make a collage. I do wish they had more photos though, but at one point it was 4 and now they have 8, but I wish they had 12 like eBay does.
And we got Lexi in the chat who's saying, in regards to description, try to use less words. That's what I was going to say. You just need to make it as concise as possible. Mine, I just copy the title again, and I do the same thing for eBay. I just have measurements, literally just like bust, waist, whatever, and the numbers. I don't go and write a paragraph about it. And then for my flaws, I'll just say, you know, small hole, see detail image. Like, as long as you've put it in there and you're covered, you know, because it's on there, they have to read it. So Poshmark, I've only had cases for things that were my fault. And I've only, out of everything I've sold, I've only had one that the person was just an idiot and they didn't know that pockets are sewn shut. In higher end garments. So the pocket was like coming undone, and she said there was a hole in the garment, but it wasn't. But Poshmark paid me out for it, because as soon as I explained to them that this person didn't know, they were like, oh, oops, our bad. But that's one out of like, I don't even know how many transactions.
Yeah,
a lot of transactions.
I keep my descriptions pretty basic. I keep it with what it is and
over 1,000.
Like you said, measurements, and if there are any flaws. And then if I kind of have like a bunch of characters left, I'll just be like super cute, goes great with anything, offers welcome, anything like that to fill up. But yeah, I just try and keep it as simple as possible, because unfortunately people on Poshmark aren't going to read a paragraph, and I have people that don't read the description, and I'm like, well, the measurements are right there.
I think the most important thing on Poshmark is that with the shoes, their shoe sizing is not always the same as what the European size is. That's my biggest issue with Poshmark, is that they'll say that a 38 is an 8, but a 38 is not an 8 in every single brand. Sometimes 38 means 7, sometimes it means 8, sometimes it means 7.5. It depends on the brand. And so for that, I always choose, if it's a European shoe, I choose the correct European size, and then in the description I put, this is from their website, that this is the size it is, because that part is the hardest. They just kind of generalize it and say, oh, 37 equals 7, 38 equals 8, you know, and if it's 38.5, like different brands are different. Like Dansko, a 38 is totally different than a 38 in, you know, Birkenstock.
Yeah.
They're two totally different ones. So it's not like a US standard size. So just make sure that, you know, when you're doing that in your descriptions, that you do include that kind of information. Or if you're selling like mom jeans, these are vintage, so please go by waist measurement, not tag size.
I sell a lot of mom jeans, and I get comments like, well, these fit a 14, and that's a vanity size. So I'm like, please see measurements, because a 14 is going to be different in every single brand, let alone from the 90s to 2018.
Yeah, it's like about 5 inches difference on a 14.
I just actually learned that like size 26, 27 are vanity sizes, because I measured a pair of Vince jeans and the waist is 30. And so I put it as 30, and I had a comment that says the tag says 27. And I'm like, well, the waist measurement's 30. And she's like, no, put it as 27, because that's a vanity size.
Yeah. Only men's sizes are based on inches. Women's sizes are not based on inches. So size 27, but it's got a 30-inch waist, and it is not, the 27 doesn't mean shit. The 4 doesn't mean shit.
But that's why I put measurements still, because somebody might think it means 27, because I didn't know till yesterday.
Yeah, because they could be, some of the sizes can be offensive. Noelle, did you have any questions?
I was wondering about titles, because right now when I cross post from eBay to Poshmark, I just do my eBay title, and then you have to shorten it because it's a little bit too long. But I see so many titles. I feel like they're different on Poshmark. Like I see a bunch of emojis all the time, and like people put sale in the title. And how do you guys?
There's also less characters on Poshmark than eBay, I think.
Yeah.
And they tell you not to use emojis on Poshmark because they're not searchable. So it's just messing up your searching. Like if someone's looking for your item, if you have emojis in your title, yours is going to come up way farther down on the list than somebody else that doesn't.
Yeah. I keep it basic with like free people maybe the title of the shirt. Like I have a Lexington crop top. So I put that size small, something like that. But
sometimes I don't even put the size because it's going to filter
if
by
there's
size.
Characters,
yeah,
if there's characters.
And then I try to just put like the most pertinent information because they have those item descriptors like color, size, new with tags. So you don't necessarily need to put all of that in if you have other more important things to say, like, you know, what the shirt is.
Like however somebody's Google it, you know, that's kind of how you want it to put. But if you put just like pink dress, that's too short. And I think everyone knows that, but yeah.
Good so.
Destroys. What else have you learned on your journey in Poshmark that you would like to share with us?
I'm gonna give that to Megan.
I've seen you've gotten several host like party pics. You want to talk about party pics and if they've?
Yeah, I kind of have my own method of getting a host pick. It works. I want to say about 8 times out of 10. What I do is I go in to my closet, share I basically do what Gwen does. I share the items relevant to the party and share my whole closet at the same time, like whether it's to my followers or to the party. Get that done out of the way. I then go into the party itself. I go to each host, follow, and share all of the black items in their closet. Just because I'm Little Black Closet, so I share all their black items.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then after that, 8 times out of 10, I show up with a host pick.
Wow.
I don't know, like they might
That's
see
smart.
the name, see that I share black, they get interested, they go look at the closet, pick something out. One time it was funny, I shared to an everything plus size party, but they ended up picking as a host pick something I didn't share, and it was actually a size 28, which is a vanity size. And I'm like, I hope the person that buys this doesn't think it's a size 28 plus size, because it's not.
Yeah,
but thankfully no one bought it at that time. I was like kind of nervous. I was like, oh crap.
I saw your Instagram post about that, and I was like, I totally mean.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god. But that was the only time that like once or twice they've shared items that I didn't put into the party. But that means that they're looking at the closet, and a lot of the times the hosts follow me back too.
Do you want to explain what a vanity size is to some people that don't know?
A size that makes you feel better about yourself.
So I can explain.
I want all of those sizes in my closet.
I know, right?
So a long time ago, when they started making garments, they were based on actual measurements, which is what pattern sizing is based on. If you go to the store and you buy a pattern, if you buy if you're a size 0, you're actually a size 8 on a pattern. So what makes you feel better, 0 or 8?
0.
You know, like 0, right? Like you want it. 0 sounds like, oh, I don't even exist, I'm so small. Like this is amazing. Like, you know, and so like that's what it is. So if you go, if I make a dress, because I made garments before, so if I make a dress and Jordan is like a 6, her dress size is going to be like a 16. Yeah. And like I'm a 14 and I'm a 22 in the dress.
Oh, that okay.
Size. My actual size is a 22. But if I go to a store and I try on a 22 and it says 22, because we're so conditioned to feel like we need to be smaller and smaller, it's going to make me feel bad. So what they did was they said, okay, we're going to redo all the sizing. That's why vintage sizes, you see like 16 and 18. If you divide that number by half, it's kind of what today's size is.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So, yeah. So if you divide it by half, like, it's not exactly accurate 100%, but somewhat similar to what our vanity sizing is. So like, you know, if you go to a store, a 0 is a 25, but a 25 is supposed to mean 25 inches at the waist. It's not, because a 25 can measure anywhere from like there's like a range that you can do that's allowed. So they can do from, I think it's like 11 and a half to 13. So it could be smaller, it could be bigger.
And that's why you can't focus on just the tag size.
You can't focus on the tag
not
size.
Every brand is on the same page. I mean, we worked at Ann Taylor and we had to size down because they run big. But if I go to like Urban Outfitters, I have to go up like 3 sizes because it's like really, really small.
Yeah. So the size doesn't mean anything, which is why it's so important to put measurements on your listings, because somebody that doesn't realize, oh, you know, this is a size 4. I'm a size 4 at Ann Taylor. Well, homegirl, you're a size 8 everywhere else. Like, you know, that is not going to function.
We actually had a lot of customers that would go in and like pick everything in a size 10, go to the dressing room, and they're like, these are too big. I'm like, I'll bring you a size 8. And they're like, oh, I lost weight. I'm
like,
size
no,
8.
you didn't.
And I'm like,
we just run large.
I'm not going to burst your bubble, but it's just, that's the size. But it is, with that being said, it is important still to put the tag size on Poshmark, because I did tag those Vince jeans as 30, but somebody who is consistently buying Vince jeans and knows that they're a Vince size 27 wants my jeans, not a 30. So I did learn that lesson this week. But still, no matter what, you definitely want to put
generally the only thing that's actually based on inches on a ruler is men's jeans. And there's a couple brands that run a little large, but if you measure a 34, it's going to measure half, the flat measurement is going to be half of that. So it's going to be 17 inches across. If you measure, you know, a 30, it's going to be 15 inches flat across, and then you double it for the whole thing. They're actually based on real numbers. Women, because men don't get offended. Men aren't offended if you're like, oh, 34, like, oh, I'm a 33, oh, I'm a 38.
Maybe it's simple. Just like I just want to buy what I can wear. Well, I can't believe it. We've already talked for an hour about Poshmark. If anybody has any questions real quick, and put them in the chat. Otherwise, we will probably go ahead and say goodnight. And if you don't mind smashing that like button for Chris while he's in London, so he can feel loved while he's over there. We did miss Chris, but he will be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thanks everybody for watching, and it doesn't look like there are any more questions. So one real quick plug for the Reseller Fam live event. It's just around the corner. We want you all to be there. We would love to see you. We'd love to meet you. Ken, the Hustle Bee, is in on our show with us tonight, and he's going to be a speaker. He's going to be there to talk about retail arbitrage and how he went from 0 to a million.
0 to 1.
0 to 1.
0 to an eBay store.
Yes. It's like over 100,000.
Yep. Start at 1099. Need to do my taxes now.
If you want to learn how to do that too, go to resellerfam.com and buy yourself a ticket to our event. The tickets are $200. It's going to be held at the Adams Mark Hotel and Conference Center in Kansas City, Missouri on March 8th through 11th. Or wait, that's when I'll be there.
8 to 10.
Okay, yeah. And there's a water park in the hotel.
Yes, we want to see you all there.
Yes. If you have any questions, you can check out resellerfam.com, or you can message any of us on Instagram. If everybody wants to give their Instagram handles real quick too, we could do that, and be sure to follow everybody. Jordan, you go first.
Mine is Behind the Thrift. That's my thrifting account. And then my business account that I never use is my California Closet. But Behind the Thrift, like behind the scenes, but for thrifting.
Oh, fun. Gwen.
Mine's Sam Loves Susie, and it's SUZY.
Dave.
The Destroy Family.
Noelle.
I am the Lister Sisters with Helene.
She's my sister. And we do have an Instagram account together that we share. It's not because I'm afraid she's going to cheat on me. And we're not sister wives, even though the rumor is out there. We just like to do it together, and we don't want to compete on who has more followers. Megan is Dave's wife, so she is the other half of the Destroy family. Sam, are you on Instagram? What's your handle?
Yes, it's Regal_details.
And finally, Ken.
Ken, the Hustle Bee on Instagram.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, folks. We hope to see you again next week. We will start another listing challenge on our Instagram page starting Monday morning? Does it start Monday morning?
I'll post it tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay. So stay tuned because you can join that challenge, that contest to win a free ticket to the Reseller Fam event. And come so you can see us all there. If not, we'll see you next week.
Oh, it's important to invest in your business.
Yes, it is very important to invest in your business. And it's going to be a lot of fun on top of that.
And it's tax deductible. Woo.
Yes, a business
I think a
expense.
road trip out of it, so I'm excited about it.
I know, it's going to be a lot of fun. We hope to see everybody there, resellerfam.com. See you next week.